Okay, this little clip's going to go through basically how we apply a standard wrist tape, a wrist strapping tape, just for support. A lot of guys complain about being forced into flexion or forced into extension, so going backwards or going forwards. They also complain of either some pain on the inside of the wrist or the outside part. There's just varying types of strapping tapes you can use or techniques you can use for that. I'm just going to use a fairly standard one where I'm going to try and support mainly that lateral side of the wrist. To start with, we'll just use a wrap tape, and that becomes basically our anchor. Use a wrap simply because it's stretching, it doesn't apply too much pressure, and it allows for expansion and allows for your wrist basically to move, but still not constrict movement, but not also constrict blood flow. So that's just the wrap to start with. I'm using those reference points and just checking as I apply that it's not going to stiffen that range too much. From that point then, I'm just checking what's happening with what's called this TFC, triangular fibrocartilage, and basically by holding the little ulnar stylet in a certain positions, in this case downwards, it helps his actual range. They're these things you always check with the athletes to make sure you're doing what you think is appropriate. So using a 38mm tape, I applied a little downward pressure on his ulnar styloid and wrapped it round immediately up and over his wrist. Second one again, not too much tension, a little bit of tension down, around, wrap it round, tear it simply into place, pat the tape down so you've got a good adhesion, and then I'll do a third one. Same technique, a little bit more pressure. I'm working forward to his wrist at the time, so I'm covering across what's called the carpal bones and just making sure that they're quite rigid but not constricting blood flow. Finish that off again with a wrap. In this case I'm using a flesh coloured wrap rather than a white coloured wrap, simply because some athletes prefer that. Lock that in place so the tape doesn't roll off. Pad that tight again, and simple, and there's a little bit of restriction. Done.